KNT having the ticket. This is the happy hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, maybe I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. This is the happy hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary are with you today. Hello, Rico.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going better.
Better.
Still not great,
How's our
but
voice?
better. It's back, but if I speak for long periods of time, my throat dries out and I start getting raspy. So
All right.
I will try to keep most of my sentences short and sweet.
Do we have fluids?
Yeah, we
All right.
do. We do.
All right. Just got to make sure you're all good, man.
A little bit. We'll be fine.
All right.
We'll figure it out.
If you need to bounce out and fill it up or anything, just
Oh, no, it's okay.
You know.
It's full. It should last me at least this first hour. So
all right. Sounds good. As
we'll be
always,
good.
402-464-5685, Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, both those open for you the whole day. I'll be with you once again from 2 to 6. Rico with us, another 2-hour happy hour. So we'll do that from 2 to 4 today. And then Jake Sorensen, Jay, and myself will take you through old school from 4 to 6 p.m. This afternoon. Tonight, there's no Uptown with number 43. Terrence had some stuff come up, so he's unable to do that one tonight with ticket weeknights. However, following Nebraska's matchup against Kennesaw State, there will be a post-game show with Strick, Jake Bachhoven, and I believe Big Sky is part of that as well. As always, like I said, 402-464-5685, Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, both those open for you, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. And then find us on Twitter, Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. We'll be joined by Aaron Sorensen of Hale Varsity here at 2:30 this afternoon. We'll dive into some Husker women's basketball talk because their game, I was able to catch the first half of their game from Pinnacle Bank Arena before I had to leave and obviously come in to do the show. They top Wyoming. The Cowgirls is their
Do
name
they call
for-
themselves the Cowgirls?
They call themselves the Cowgirls.
I wasn't sure because you have a lot of schools with mascots and they just add like girls or something
Lady.
onto the end of it or lady whatever's.
Yep.
And, sometimes that's not what they're called. It's just, the mascot for the school.
Yes.
But there are other schools like Tennessee, the Lady Vols.
That's
So
right. Baylor is the Lady Bears.
are they the Lady Bears?
They are.
Okay.
So, I was able to watch their first game, head out to Pinnacle Bank Arena for that at noon. Really, really good crowd on hand. I was telling you and Mark before the show, there's a really, really impressive crowd for a noon tip-off. And yes, I understand it's a holiday week and everything, and people might have work off or stuff like that.
But
Kids are out of school, they're done with finals. Like I get that, but still, it's a 12-0 Bass or 11-0 going into the girl game against Wyoming, and it was a really, really good show out of fans and spectators at PBA. And Nebraska men's play Kennesaw State this evening at is it 6 p.m. 6:30?
I think it's 6:30. I couldn't tell you right now.
I should know this.
If I could have gotten the day off, or at least part of the day off, I would have
6:30.
taken Ellie out of daycare and gone to the game.
You're turning Ellie into a big basketball fan.
I'm trying. She loves basketball. We have a hoop. We have everything. She just likes sports. I'm working on her
That's
catching
fantastic.
things. We have a little like foam football that I toss at her, and we're working on catching. It's still a work in progress because she does the whole arms out here
and then
trying to.
It's like the gator chomp.
Yeah, and it doesn't work very well. So I tell her, I'm like, put your arms together, and then I just toss it I try to toss it perfectly into her arms, and then she brings it up, and then she's right there. We also taught her to bump and tried setting. That's not really working, but we can spike.
How old is she?
She's 2.
Oh, she's got plenty of time.
I know.
Plenty of time. So yeah, we'll dive into all of that. Also, I've been saying it for a couple of days. We're going to talk about quarterbacks. Today is the day.
Are you sure?
Today is the day we're going to talk
have
about
2
quarterbacks.
hours.
Yeah.
There was a Bigfoot sighting.
What?
There was like a Bigfoot sighting in Illinois, I believe.
No way.
Some guy said that he saw a very, hairy, it was like black, shiny hair, and it cleared a like 2-lane roadway in like 2 strides.
I'm looking up Bigfoot sighting.
I think it was Illinois. Could have been Indiana.
Illinois man thinks he saw Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. We're going to get back on
Bigfoot.
that. Right, Happer? Bigfoot. There's a Bigfoot sighting in Illinois.
Do you believe in Bigfoot?
Yeah, he does.
Why would I believe in Bigfoot?
Why wouldn't you believe in Bigfoot?
I remember when Jose Canseco was doing Bigfoot excursions, and then we called Jose Canseco's
His
like
poor assistant
handler. Yeah. And
I think that might still be in the.
Oh, it's in there.
I'm gonna look that up real quick.
it's in
Okay.
there.
I'm trying to find it. He saw it about 40 yards from his vehicle.
Yeah, it was like.
That's a close Bigfoot sighting.
I'm just saying.
He did not see Bigfoot.
You do not believe in Bigfoot?
I mean, maybe there is a Bigfoot, but
so-
there's one guy. There's one Bigfoot. Just
I think
No,
there's
there's-
multiple Bigfoots. I think it's like a whole herd of Bigfoot.
okay. That's more plausible.
Do they all hang out together?
Yeah, it's like a
Dude.
family of big feet, but they, go across the country.
What do you call a group of Bigfoots?
Big feet.
A herd? A pack?
A school.
A school of Bigfoot. I think I would call them a herd.
Yeah, I would say so, but I don't think they're together. That would defeat the purpose.
I think sometimes they're together.
So
Like
how do they-
holidays.
This doesn't seem very plausible.
Yeah, I don't think they get together for holidays. But no, we're not going to talk about Bigfoot today.
Good.
We were not planning on it yesterday to talk about it.
What are you going to talk about?
We're going to talk Husker
Apparently
women's basketball
quarterbacks.
What?
because I was there for the first half.
What?
Great job PAing. Red
Thank you.
Panda failed.
Stop.
I hung out there. I stuck around for Red Panda.
I have never.
Is that the first time you've seen Red Panda?
No. I saw Red Panda a couple years ago.
I have never felt worse.
It hurt. I saw you. You were like recording her taking pictures, and I was like, "Yeah, Red Panda." And she got to the 5 bowls, and then
She's just got to get off her unicycle and pick
Well,
them up.
she got to so she did all the kicks, and then she got to the 5 bowl, and she was having trouble stacking them up,
Mhm.
and then tried to flip it up probably
She
3 or
lost.
4 times.
Yeah, the first time she did it, she lost them on her leg. The second time she dropped 1 bowl, it didn't land right. And then she was like,
But
"No,
she
I'm
just
gonna."
kept-
She's
she
like, "I'm
kept
gonna
going.
get this."
and I don't know if you could tell from whatever you were watching, but she was destroyed.
She was upset.
She was crushed. She was like mouthing, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, no.
I wonder now about her mental state for
for
tonight.
tonight.
Mhm. They need to fix
That's
the
true.
court. It's uneven. That was throwing her off.
I don't know.
I'm
No,
worried.
I would disagree on that because she was doing just fine when she was pedaling.
The court's uneven.
I saw
with
her
one
at
foot.
Creighton last Friday, and she got them all.
Maybe it's PBA.
Is Red Panda washed?
No,
Well, yes.
I think she's
I've
washed.
been saying this for a long time, but
she's our washed queen.
I don't want to say that anymore because I feel so bad.
Now it actually is true. We actually know it's true.
She's our washed queen. We still love her.
Yeah,
Oh no.
Nothing will ever take that away.
it's very
not
sad
great.
to
It
watch
hurts.
unfold.
I know. Trust me. I know it was sad. I was sitting up in that corner, and it was very sad.
Does she have like a predecessor or not a predecessor? An
Understudy.
understudy. That's
Do you
what it
think
was.
there's another lady riding a unicycle? Remember when she got her unicycle stolen?
Yeah, it was like in California. It was like San Diego or something.
Yeah, and the Warriors gave her a new one.
How much do you think her Red Panda's unicycle is worth?
It's quite a bit.
It is pretty expensive.
Yeah.
It's custom.
It's super tall unicycle, obviously.
Yes. Hold on. Red Panda net worth.
I just don't want her to fall off the unicycle.
Yeah,
that would be
yeah.
worse.
I don't.
She's made $6,000 in the last 30 days thanks just to her YouTube channel.
Look at her.
What? Why was what? Really?
Yeah. Last 30 days.
What's she do on YouTube?
I think probably just videos of her doing this.
Yeah, it has to be. Interesting.
People
Tough
love Red
scene,
Panda.
man.
Yeah,
was a
no,
tough
it was
scene.
it was sad.
Red Panda, the amazing Slottick.
What wasn't a tough scene was Husker women's basketball.
Oh my
though.
God! If Amazing Slottick,
That was my. I was
if
like,
Amazing
oh,
Slottick
no.
falls, no,
yeah.
that's
if,
not
if
sad.
Amazing Slottick fails,
That's
it's
gruesome.
over.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I saw the chairs tipping that day.
I
They were
can't-
leaning.
I can't watch him. I can't.
Yeah.
Because it just takes one little slippage.
Yeah.
One tiny little a gust of wind through PBA.
How do you wake up and think this is a good idea?
That's what we were discussing today. Like, who came up with the idea of like, I'm gonna hop on this unicycle and throw bowls on top of my head?
And
that's
I'm
what I
gonna get
always
really, really good
I
at it.
always wonder with like weird things like that. Like, how did you discover that you could do this?
The Simon Says guy. Have you guys have seen? The
I
Simon
haven't.
Says guy?
I've heard it. I've heard of
Steve
it.
Max.
Yeah, I've heard of
He
him.
does Simon Says,
But he's like,
it's
really?
it's a halftime act.
Yep.
But it's really good. I like it. People don't like it.
Okay, we got this text. Well, first, Eric and Lincoln asks, does Happer just time travel from PBA to the studio?
No,
Yes.
I drove here.
It takes like 10 minutes.
Probably less.
The longest part for me is walking across the pedestrian bridge.
I parked out back.
Oh, nice.
I got the old VIP.
Of course. No, it's all good. It's all good. Rank your top 3 halftime shows. Red Panda, Quick Change, Trampoline People.
Ooh.
Mm.
I mean, do we throw everybody in here? Do we throw the Chicago boys
They
in?
only gave us these 3.
Do we throw the guys with the little doggies?
Ooh, those were impressive a couple weeks ago.
Happer hates the doggies.
You don't like the
I'm not as
frisbee
high
catching
on the
dogs?
doggies as some others.
I like the one doggy.
Oh, the doggy that goes in the boombox.
Yeah, and
And
like
spins
bounces
on
on the
the-
ball and
yeah.
like walk like the guy kind of rolls and the dog walks like across his
That's a
feet and
newer
stuff.
one. That was on like a talent, like America's Got
Yeah,
Talent.
I
or
like that
something.
dog.
Yeah,
Okay, I really like the Trampoline People.
those aren't the same as the flipping people that were at the game.
No, but the
on
dunk.
Sunday.
Are we talking about the Trampoline People that jump on the trampolines and dunk and stuff? Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of those guys.
Okay.
I think I might like the flipping people better than that. They just
Ooh.
flip around.
Yeah.
They jump over stuff.
What is that? What is the name of the group that jumps on the trampoline? And
I don't know.
I feel like there's different.
there's a
groups that do
basketball
that.
one.
Oh, is there?
All I know is
Well, the Chicago boys are the flippers, and they did Sunday twice.
Wet Blanket has a terrible text.
Oh no,
I'm going to read it though. If Amazing Slodic falls, he will join the quick clothes change guy in the halftime show in the sky.
oh no.
tough.
Eric says
And
who's-
Shim Shams.
Shim Shams.
Shim Sham's not dead, but just not here.
Eric and Lincoln says who's the guy with the second chairs? The Amazing
Amazing
Slodic.
Slodic.
Amazing Slodic. Yeah.
He performed a couple weeks
Or
ago.
There
like
was
the
a
people that like
chainsaw-
yeah,
there-
juggle the chainsaws.
Yeah, there's been a chainsaw guy. I forget his name.
That especially. Who wakes up or who decides that they want to go into that career of flipping chainsaws?
I don't
Again,
know.
it's one of those things. How do you discover you're good at? Like
And
people that draw pictures by writing words. How do you discover you're good at that?
And how do you really assess or believe that a couple grand is worth your life?
Just don't fail.
Well, if you're really good at it, then it's not your life on the line.
Yeah. Like Red Panda drops bowls, but she doesn't fall from her unicycle.
I think the Amazing Slodic, you watch his face during the performance, and you might think, "Oh man, this guy's kind of." I think he's putting on an act. He's a great performer.
He is a good one.
I don't think he's
stands up at every
actually
chair and he's
afraid.
like
I don't think he's actually afraid that he's going to fall off those chairs.
Well, I think he's accepted it.
that if he falls, he falls.
Yeah.
And there's no safety nets.
No fear. It's just like, all right, if I fall, I fall.
It's at least a broken leg, maybe
at the
two.
very least. And if that's his only source of income, that's you're done
Good
for a
point.
while. You're gonna have to figure something out.
If a
Pretty good
guy
gig.
if a guy juggling chainsaws in front of thousands of people gets injured, does the game get canceled?
Yeah, I don't. We haven't thought about that. I considered canceling the game today after Red Panda was
just
beside herself.
just
on
on the PA.
was like,
Happer decides.
Everyone go home.
Happer's like, this game has been
This
canceled.
game has gone
and you
final.
just see Happer stand up from the table and just walk.
The
If you
fans
don't
were
have a
good though.
PA.
They gave her a good round of applause. She went over she went over like 3 minutes longer than she was
Oh
supposed
no!
to. Yeah, she was trying to get the bulls on her head.
I figure that she was sitting there and she goes, "This is my halftime. All right, you sit there and you wait."
No,
until I
but
get
it was
this."
like she felt a need to get it right. Like she felt
Determination.
but it was like for the people that were watching.
Yeah.
She was like on her unicycle. She was like mouthing, "I'm sorry."
Yeah,
So it wasn't like I'm mad. I got to get this right. It was like I owe this to you guys
This
because
is- yeah.
I'm here. You paid me money, and I got.
I have to perform.
And this is what you paid for.
jeez.
She's great.
She is.
Now she's got to do it tonight.
She will. I
Against
believe in her.
Kennesaw
That's something that Michael Jordan would say. You never know when you're going to see a red panda.
What are the betting odds that Red Panda gets it right tonight?
Gets all of them.
I don't
It's
know.
not favored.
Is it just minus 110 both ways? Is it just split?
No, I mean, I worry about her mental state.
Yeah, I agree. And she has time to sit on it and think about it.
So I feel like the odds are that she doesn't do it.
Minus 150.
Does she get up to 5 with no issues?
That's what she did today.
But that's what I'm saying. For the guys' game, does she get up to 5 with no issues?
I don't know.
Or does she run into problems early on?
I don't know. Anything could happen tonight.
Anything's possible. She could fall off the unicycle just right when she gets
Hey,
on.
you don't say that.
Whoa.
You don't say that.
It has happened once though.
I'm being serious.
Not here, but it has happened.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Who are the people that toss her the bowls? Because that's also a skill.
The marketing interns.
Is it really? She
Yeah.
doesn't bring somebody with her?
No.
I'm telling you, man, you got to have some type of skill.
I don't-
Because if you toss
but
it
that
wrong
wasn't-
and she has to move her head, the bowls fall off.
That wasn't the problem today, though.
No,
it was
wasn't.
not the bowl
It was not.
toss.
It was not.
Today it was not the
But
problem.
I'm just,
It was more of the stacking. She couldn't get she couldn't get the stacking right.
The floor's uneven, dude. Unicycle was off.
A lawsuit's going to happen in Nebraska.
It's very disappointing. But she's got a chance to redeem herself tonight.
All right.
She's got a chance.
Happer, what'd you see from the girls? I knew what I saw, but what'd you see?
What did you see?
I saw a team.
I know what I saw. What'd you see?
Well, I wanted to get
You
your
both Pelini?
you
saw the game. What'd you think?
You tell me.
You were just there as well, so I just wanted to hear your thoughts.
I didn't think they played very well. I thought they lacked a little bit of energy, but going into break, you're 12-0 and get out of there, have a good, nice long weekend, and go celebrate and come back on. I think they don't play again until Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, I think the 30th at Michigan State.
Yeah.
Pretty good crowd for a noon game.
Yeah, I thought so too. People are starting to show up, which is good. It'll be when they return home on the 4th of January. It will be hot.
They got some interesting ones. It's good. It's Michigan,
Michigan
Iowa.
to start off right at home.
Michigan, Iowa,
Michigan just
and then
beat Baylor, which doesn't happen.
Ever.
Yeah. So
it's gonna be
hot.
It's gonna be fun.
No, I thought they had a chance to pull away. It kind of looked like they had pulled away. Probably let off the gas a little bit. That happens.
They got some players in early. Got some time early, but then Annika Stewart as well.
Yeah, how many she
showing
have?
off the bench.
Ani was great today.
21, I think.
21.
I think she finished 21.
Knocking down threes.
Yeah. So, not bad. Not too bad.
Yeah, they got bailed out a little bit today by their shooting, which wow. We're talking about the men's side.
Yeah. Oh, so we got a text. Better attendance today, women's or men's?
Well, I think there will be more than 3,000 at the men's game tonight.
You think?
I do. I'm quite sure.
Just because of the time or because of the men's game?
Well, they just get more people to go to their games.
I
don't know.
I know.
There'll be 10,000 people there tonight.
All right.
Right?
I don't know.
Would think
There
so.
is. There will be. 8, 10?
8.
I'm not going 10.
I would go closer 8 than
I'm not going
10.
10.
Okay. Well, still more.
Still more. All right. Thanks, Hap.
They will have to
What do
open
you
the
think?
200 level.
Oh,
I know what I think. What do you think?
The men.
What do you think?
All right, let's just go around and tell everybody what we think.
Yeah, what do you think?
I'm thinking like 75.
Okay.
Not like 7. Yeah.
I know what you mean.
You know what I
7,500. I'll go 8,500.
What did you think of the way that the girls played?
I think something they're going to need to do, and they've started out slow the last, not slow necessarily, but sloppy the last couple games, turnovers, and things like that. Their offense helps them out in the first quarter, because if you look at the end of the first quarter scores, it doesn't seem like they start out slow or sloppy. But just a couple minutes, and once they hit a couple shots, they're fine. But no, Jazz Shelley, impressive again, with finding ways when she's not scoring a ton of points to still affect the ball game in a positive way, which is something that other programs will not do.
Something that Fred Hoiberg talked about yesterday at length. So yep,
we
12-0.
We got asked before we let you go.
Okay,
we got asked, Happer, why is there no TikTok of Red Panda?
I mean, oh yeah.
Oh no,
are people watching my TikToks?
I don't know. We have not made a TikTok.
Curtis cable account is.
I can't. Well, I guess I have the content for it. I could throw one together.
Did you get a video of it falling?
Yeah.
Don't you?
I know
dare
exactly
post
the.
that.
I will not be.
No,
I know
publicizing
exactly
No.
the sound for it.
No, he's not posting that.
I will not be publicizing that video.
No. disgusting.
It's too much to handle.
All right.
People will cry.
Apparently there was we're getting text. There's a lot here. Apparently there was a Bigfoot sighting in Johnson County.
We just talked about this.
No. That was in Illinois.
Oh.
This one's in Johnson County by Tecumseh. That's what Tiny Pig says.
Okay. I'm down.
This is
I
wild.
ever thought about a tiny pig?
I've never thought about a tiny pig.
Isn't that just a baby pig?
He doesn't get it.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys find Bigfoot. Is this what you're going to do the next?
No.
I'm going to go squatching.
Okay.
We are not.
I am. I'll make a TikTok about it.
Would Rico be good at TikTok?
Like good at making TikToks, or good at being like a person?
Would he go viral?
TikToks?
Would he go viral?
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm looking for yes or no answers here. Everything's so relative.
I think I'd be really good on TikTok.
Then why haven't you started?
Because I don't want to.
Good call.
All right. Yeah, stay away from it. All right, 402-464-5685, Honda Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. Let's take a break. We'll get to Aaron Sorensen of Hill Varsity next on the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Security First Bank. We're the bank, and we make your mortgage more manageable with flexible terms, trusted advice, and competitive rates. When you work with us, we'll know your name, but we'll also get to know your home dreams too. Security First Bank of Lincoln. Voted best small bank in Nebraska by Newsweek magazine. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 505011.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Guys, we need to talk about a problem plaguing our society today: chronic fruitcake slander. Now, maybe you're thinking, I've had fruitcake. It's dry and heavy. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're eating the wrong fruitcake, because Grandma's fruitcake is anything but. Their recipe uses the highest quality fruits, hand-sorted nuts, and adds the perfect amount of brandy, bourbon, and rum. Their desserts are known and loved across the country, and they're made right here in Southeast Nebraska. If you haven't tried them yet, you're missing out. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of yum.
At Supreme Spa and Pool, Christmas is here. Give a little cheer. Luxury hot tubs in stock. Don't forget our cash and carry hot tubs also in stock from $29.99. The Stealth semi in-ground pool from $79.99. Also in-ground pools from $29.99. Don't wait until next year for above ground pools. Christmas is here. Give a little cheer. Supreme Spa and Pool.com.
Your child's most important school supply is free and fits in a pocket. It's their library card, and it's important to use that card often. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the NSEA and a lifelong reader. Your local library can unlock a whole new world for your child. Explore it together. The library is a great place to learn and spend time together. Let's help every child succeed.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
If you're struggling to get motivated to work out, you're not alone, and Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is here to help. Build muscle, burn fat, and lose weight with Farrell's 10-week challenge starting January 8th, all for a chance to win $1,000. Farrell's combines kickboxing with inclusive strength training and nutrition planning to help you stay on track. Go to fxblincoln.com to sign up today. It's the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starting January 8th with 2 locations in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Expect sunny skies and mild temperatures as we'll top out at around 52. Winds out of the southwest at around 10. Overnight, mainly clear, a low dropping down to around 30. We will continue our climb in temps as we head into our Thursday with an afternoon high approaching 55. And by Christmas Eve, highs could be into the 60s. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Look around your house. You don't really have any room for Christmas gifts. Things are stuffed into closets, and your garage is a mess too. For a unique gift this holiday, call Travis at Classic Garage Solutions for their Christmas organization packages. Turn your garage from a cluttered mess to a clean, organized space that will be the envy of the neighborhood and something you can be proud of. Storage options for cabinets, monkey bars shelving, or slat wall. Call Classic Garage Solutions today at 402-730-1638. That's 730-1638.
Now back to the happy hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here on the happy hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We're going to 4 o'clock today once again. Just a reminder, if you were not listening yesterday, stop by Nutrizio's 13th and O. Mention that the ticket and you receive a free 32-ounce drink if you mention that you heard us talking to them, Steve and Jacob from Nutrizio's yesterday around 2 o'clock. So make sure you stop by there, 13th and O. It is Wednesday afternoon, which means we are joined with Aaron Sorensen of Hale Varsity. Aaron, how's it going?
Going well, thank you.
All right, let's start with football because there's a little bit of news and notes that came out last night late. It sounds like Tony Tuioti may be moving on. I mean, how does this affect the way and direction that Nebraska, Scott Frost specifically, goes with his coaching staff? How does this kind of how do you see it all shaking out?
Well, I'd like to just point out for anyone who is tuned in on Wednesdays, I have been saying for a few weeks now, or at least a couple of weeks now, that I was pretty sure that I felt like they weren't done because with changes. Now, I'm not saying I knew that it was Tuioti specifically. Yeah. It just felt like, especially as we were waiting to find out what was the future of a special teams coordinator or coach position, that something had to change. So, I mean, in a perfect world, as long as there are no additional changes, there's no one else that departs. In a perfect world, you could move Dawson back into the defensive line spot. That's where he was originally with Nebraska. Barrett Ruud could either take on both outside linebackers and inside, or you could have Eric Schnander help out with outside linebackers. So that does make it a little bit, it does kind of help then free up that special teams spot if you want that. But again, that's completely dependent on as long as there are no additional changes on that side of the ball. We're still waiting on running backs and what's to be made official there. So, I mean, like I said, in a perfect scenario, you move Dawson back to defensive line, and then either Ruud takes over all linebackers or Eric Schnander helps out for the outside spot. So we'll see. That would be like, I mean, like, again, perfect scenario.
How worried are you in terms of attrition if a guy like Tony Tuioti leaves?
I mean, he was definitely one that surprised me when I saw the news start coming out last night. I mean, it makes a lot of sense for him. He's a West Coast guy. He really enjoys recruiting on the West Coast. We know that about him. But his players really, really love him. If you talk to just about any of the defensive players, he's their guy. And now that's not to say so many of them felt the same way about Mike Dawson as well. So that would be, like, again, a really nice fit to put Dawson back there, since he did recruit some of those players that are in that defensive line room. But it does make things a little bit more interesting. And so with attrition, I think it kind of depends on who steps into that spot. If Mike Dawson ends up taking back over the defensive line room, maybe you don't see much attrition at all, because, again, he helped recruit so many of them. It's definitely somebody that they also speak really highly of and really like. Now, if, say, Dawson stays put, maybe you see somebody move on. I think if nothing else, it'll be interesting more to see what it means for recruiting at that spot in the future, just because Tuioti is, somebody that so many liked. But we'll see. I guess I'm not overly concerned about attrition at this point, but it really, again, just kind of depends on who ends up coaching that room.
We're speaking to Aaron Sorensen of Hail Varsity. Now let's flip over to the offensive side and talk a little bit about quarterbacks, because there's been a lot of names entered the portal and actually now left the portal. The longer that this process goes on and Nebraska doesn't find a quarterback out of the portal, how soon does that thought of they're sticking with what they have in that room sort of creep into the minds?
I mean, it kind of depends. Like, is it so much of a choice on their part, or is it, they're going after quarterbacks who end up choosing to go elsewhere? That's the stuff that we're not always going to be privy to behind the scenes unless somebody wants to tell us specifically. But it could also be, the thing is we know Nebraska wants a quarterback out of the transfer portal. So I would assume Nebraska has been making offers to quarterbacks out of the portal, or at least gauging interest. And so I think each time you see a quarterback then choose to go elsewhere, it kind of is a little bit of a why maybe that spot versus Nebraska. They still have some options. Like, that's the biggest thing. We're not completely, like, it's not like every transfer portal quarterback is like out of, like, not available, but like it's just going to be interesting. I know one that kind of has, like, come up is Casey Thompson. Could he be the one? We'll see. It's definitely one of those things where I think if they don't get a transfer quarterback, I don't think it won't be because they didn't try. That's going to be the really interesting part, is, like, I think they really want one. So if they don't get one, that feels a little bit dicier, at least in my opinion.
We're speaking with Aaron Sorensen of Hail Varsity. And Aaron, could this be one of the things where Nebraska is waiting on, the transfer portal quarterback that they're looking for, or somebody to choose them before they go after any other positions on the offense via the transfer portal?
Possibly. I mean, so, like, take Casey Thompson for example from Texas. He could be, he's a different type of quarterback. Like, all of the quarterbacks are a little bit different. So maybe you want to think about, like, if he's the person, what does he look like as far as, like, the other type of players that you might bring into the offensive side of things to, like, be weapons for him or whomever else it might be. I do think kind of similar to, like, needing to know who your offensive coordinator and your quarterbacks coach is. Knowing who your quarterback is and what type of offense you're going to need to be running with that quarterback is really key. So I do think there's a little bit of wait and see here. And it's just, I think I understand the frustration. I've seen a lot of Nebraska fans getting more and more frustrated of, like, each time they see a transfer quarterback go somewhere else and feeling a little disheartened by that. I can get it, because I think it's a really important piece that you sort of need to square away before you can get much further. But, if things start to look like, well, it's going to be Logan and Heinrich, and maybe they aren't going to be having that player right off the bat from the transfer portal that they were hoping for, maybe that starts to shift then where you put your focus and you start to see some attention placed elsewhere. So Yes, it's just like I said, I can understand like kind of a little bit of the frustration, confusion, things I've seen from Nebraska fans so far when it comes to this, knowing that Frost has said they want to transfer quarterback as long as it is the right person. So we're kind of at an impasse right now.
Yeah, we're speaking to Aaron Sorensen of Hail Varsity, and one last quarterback question, then we'll move on, I promise. But speaking of what we just talked about, how Scott Frost has said, or said that they're leaning towards taking a transfer portal quarterback. How, if they don't find one by the time next season starts in Ireland, how does that fluctuate the confidence in potential success for this program next season?
I think what we know so far is that Logan has shown a lot of growth as a quarterback. He obviously has gotten a little bit of experience, not as much as you'd hope for and want in a season, but he's had experience at this point. He's going to have to keep working on his throwing mechanics, but he's shown so far that he's capable. So you definitely have to start shifting into gear of like, I think this is one thing is this is not a quarterback competition per se that you can take really close to the start of the season. You really have to know pretty soon into spring who's this going to be, because you want to start building those relationships, building confidence. And so maybe if it's Heinrich, and we know, we've heard what we know, like we've seen Heinrich in high school. We know what we know from his high school film, and we've heard he's a great passer. He's got all of the mechanics that they want, and he's going to be a great quarterback. But you got to get those people like moving, because you can't wait. So I think if you're starting to look at like, you're not going to get that person, if you want to be able to build and instill confidence and like get this team off on the right foot and, get everyone on the same page, you got to get that squared away sooner rather than later. This is not something that I would think you should drag on very long, because at some point you got to be able to pass the reins to somebody and start building those relationships up, because that's going to be really important.
Aaron, a couple of days ago, Trev Alberts spoke on the radio and mentioned something about improving fan experience at Memorial Stadium. And this is kind of brought up every year. And obviously alcohol sales are a big part of this conversation, but in realistic possibility, in your eyes, what are some changes that could be made to, or in your opinion, should be made or could be made to Memorial Stadium to improve fan experience?
I've actually talked with Trev Alberts about this personally, and this was at Big Ten Media Days this last summer, and I asked him just about some of these fan experience things. And one of the big things is South Stadium. There are so many, when it comes to concessions themselves at Nebraska, when you think of South Stadium, they're not convenient. They're kind of difficult to navigate. Standing in line ultimately cuts off people being able to move around the concourse. And then when you think about seating is really uncomfortable. Being able to space it out, even if it ends up, decreasing the capacity of Memorial Stadium, is probably something worth looking at. I think really for Trev Alberts, he's looking at how do we make the Memorial Stadium or any venue that Nebraska has more comfortable, and then also make it easier for people to get access to restrooms, to concessions, to the things that are going to make their experience easier. Because if it's not, what's going to end up happening for so many is they're just going to stay home because it's simply easier. So I think you're going to see, I think his big thing, at least from when I've talked with him about this, is really improving the fan seating experience, concessions, but also making it more accessible. There are not a lot of Memorial Stadium is accessible unless you're on the new side, which requires you to go all the way to the top with the elevator. So there's a lot that kind of needs to be rethought when it comes to Memorial Stadium, but he seems really particularly interested in how to make all of that happen. So look, it's the boring answer, but I'd be cool if they just gave people some more room, just so that they don't have to be squashed in there so close to the people next to them. Let people have a little extra space.
All right, last one before we let you go. This is kind of a bigger picture question over the course of all the athletics at Nebraska. I want to look back on NIL. It's been in effect about 6 months or so. I mean, what are your thoughts on NIL in these first 6 months? I mean, we've seen Nicklin Hames be a big player in it. I saw an Iowa football player donate some money to a children's hospital, I believe. I mean, what have been your thoughts on name, image, and likeness, and since it's taken effect?
I have been a big proponent of name, image, and likeness even before it was official, and I'm a huge fan even to this day. I think overall, you're still seeing some growing pains. I think that's going to happen until there's like some kind of federal legislation that kind of creates some uniformity, which, presents its own challenges with that. But I think you're seeing a lot of players use this for good. So we think of Tate Wildeman and Casey Rogers. They did the fry competition at Honest Abe's this fall, and a portion of that proceeds went to the Food Bank of Lincoln. So I think you're seeing a lot of athletes find things that are near and dear to their heart, and they're ending up in taking some of these NIL deals and putting them back into their communities. It's also just securing, like, for so many of them now, the NCAA loves to run that commercial, and we heard it all through the volleyball tournament. So many of these players are going to go pro in something other than sports. And this is the time where they could save some of this money that they can make when they are at their most marketable and put that away, and it could change their lives forever. So I think what we've seen from NIL is, no, you're not seeing tons and tons of athletes making six figures at this point. You're seeing some, but not all. But it hasn't ruined locker rooms. You're still seeing plenty of athletes get opportunities, and a lot of them are getting to partner with small and local businesses and make a difference that way, give back. I think at the end of it, the good has shown it outweighs any of the bad, and that's going to continue. I'm excited to see what NIL looks like 6 months from now, a year from now. I think it's just going to keep getting better.
Aaron, I have one last question. It's not sports related at all. How'd that EAS test wake you up?
I hadn't gone to sleep yet, thank goodness. I was scrolling TikTok because that's what I usually do when I should be sleeping. And I jumped out of my skin. I was convinced, I'm like, the world is ending. This is that we have met our time. This is it. And so then when you finally like kind of come to like your senses and you see it and you're like, it's a test. It took a moment, and I was like, I need to go to Twitter because I just know that's where the fun will be. And of course it was. Everyone was having a great time.
It was the worst.
That is awesome. Aaron, appreciate the time as always. Have a Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you. You too.
That is Aaron Sorensen of Hail Varsity. Yeah, I did not get that alert.
You didn't?
Should I be worried?
Yeah.
I did not get that. My buddies did, who I was hanging out with.
Looks like your phone doesn't work.
So
if there's ever an emergency, you're dead.
Every phone should have gotten it.
I would think so. Every phone in Nebraska.
I may need to check in on that. All right,
That's not good.
Yeah, let's take a timeout. When we come back, let's talk about this fan experience thing a little bit, because I'm curious. I've mentioned concourse. We've mentioned decreasing capacity. Personally, I'm not too concerned about the capacity, because we've had to find new ways to get fans in the stadium anyway.
Yeah.
And so that's a real problem, right? If we're so, I know there's some people that aren't concerned about the sellout streak. But if you're in that lane, and that's totally fine, because it's history, it's something Nebraska fans can hold on to. Nebraska as a program and as an athletic department. But this is one way to really ensure that it's not going anywhere for a very long time, is if you decrease capacity and you give fans another reason, another positive reason to come on out to Memorial Stadium. All right, let's dive into that a little bit more after the break. You're listening to the Happy Hour on 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo Promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities that we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say hello. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy and healthy Christmas and New Year's celebration. We are thankful for time with family and friends this holiday season and wish everyone a great end to 2021 as we head into 2022. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialist here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services on the air because they care.
At Supreme Spa and Pool, Christmas is here. Give a little cheer. Luxury hot tubs in stock. Don't forget our cash and carry hot tubs also in stock from $29.99. The Stealth semi in-ground pool from $79.99. Also in-ground pools from $29.99. Don't wait until next year for an above-ground pools. Christmas is here. Give a little cheer. Supreme Spa and Pool.com.
If you're struggling to get motivated to work out, you're not alone, and Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is here to help. Build muscle, burn fat, and lose weight with Farrell's 10-week challenge starting January 8th, all for a chance to win $1,000. Farrell's combines kickboxing with inclusive strength training and nutrition planning to help you stay on track. Go to fxblincoln.com to sign up today. It's the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starting January 8th with 2 locations in Lincoln.
I'm Steve Carper, and I'm here to tell you that there's never been a better time to buy flooring. Whether you need carpet, wood flooring, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you gotta come to O Street Carpet. With our 12-month interest-free financing, you can do one room or your whole house and leave your holiday budget intact. And with our huge in-stock selection, you can buy today and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
Working at Continental of Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljob.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
A new Planet Fitness location is open near you. To celebrate, you can join for just $1 down and then $10 a month. We're squeaky clean and ready to welcome you with tons of equipment and plenty of space to spread out. So join the judgment-free zone today. We're ready when you are. Just $1 down, $10 a month. Offer ends soon. Join us today.
A brand new Planet Fitness location is now open at 84th and Lake.
Planet Fitness locations are independently owned and operated. See Club for details.
Hi, this is Sean Callahan with Koppel Chevrolet GMC. New vehicle production has been increasing, but the lots will not be filling up anytime soon. In fact, most vehicles are being pre-sold and are leaving the same week as they arrive. If you want your new Chevrolet or GMC, this is a great time to build a vehicle and place an order. Our sales team will work right with you to build the exact vehicle you want. At Koppel, we appreciate your business and sell vehicles at a fair price. So come check us out or visit us online at koppelcars.com.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here on the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary are with you. 402-464-5685, Honda of Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. Feel free to add to the conversation there, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. All right, so we got a couple texts here talking about some improvement to fan experience at Memorial Stadium. Eric in Lincoln says this: last time I was at a game, I got told to sit down during the fourth quarter in a one-score game with our defense on the field. Older couple behind me literally pushed my shoulders down They also did not like me booing the other team. I'm tired of being a nice fan base. It's time we become a super hostile environment, stand up, and be loud. Nobody is afraid to come to Memorial Stadium anymore. Ooh. Eric, that's interesting.
People take pride in Nebraska being,
nice.
the nice fan base, and you have opposing players who are like, yeah, you don't expect it. Like, you go there, you're not getting booed, and people are just like, hey, good luck, good job or whatever. And it's super weird, and it throws us off. And, you have that part of it. But at the same time, like, you can be loud and aggressive and still, be nice about it. But the whole older couple, like, pushing his shoulders down, I hate that. Because I've been there a couple of times where people are like, hey, we can't see. And I'm just like, well, stand up. Like, the people in front of me are standing up.
Yeah.
You're higher up, so you can see over them. I can't see over them, so I have to stand up. So I'm sorry, but this is necessary.
I wonder, is it like that at PBA too?
I think people sit more.
They sit more. Because that's the tough part about this fan experience thing too, is because you have to appease both all age demographics. That's the tough part.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, that's been the whole thing with alcohol too, is there's a lot of the younger generation wants it.
Mm-hmm.
Older generation doesn't think we need it.
Some don't.
Yeah, that's right. And maybe there's probably some
younger
people,
generation that also
and that's
don't.
totally fine. But that's the tough part is you're never going to make everybody happy.
No, you can't. It's impossible.
Unnamed texter says take one seat out of each row, and that would help a ton. Yeah, I think it's just space. And I don't know. I've been going back and forth on whether or not bleachers are the way to go.
I hate bleachers.
Bleachers are tough. Seats might be okay.
Seats are good, but then you have like, I don't want to pick on anybody. I don't want to sound rude or like a terrible person. But if you have seats and you have armrests, some people
that's a good point.
Believe that the armrests are very uncomfortable.
That's a good point.
So you would have to have it open, and then you might as well, instead of having seat backs, just have bleachers. And then you could sell the seat backs, but then that's an extra expense that you have to pay, and some people don't want to do that.
I'm curious. Maybe you could have. Keep the student section bleachers. I think that needs to stay.
The students are fine.
Yeah,
they don't sit down anyways.
They stand the whole time.
They don't sit down anyways.
I think that's okay to keep it bleachers.
But yeah, that's the issue. Is you have the student section for the college age kids, and then you have the rest of the stadium where you have to worry about older fans, families, younger fans that aren't students. Like, you have this mixed hodgepodge of people around the rest of the stadium that you're trying to appease, and it's impossible to get one thing that makes everybody happy.
Yeah, that's really, really interesting. We're getting more text here. Kool-Aid Man says they can't even do the concession stands right. How are they going to do anything else right? The place is a mess. Gus adds this couple things. Those lovely aluminum bleachers shouldn't be 30 rear ends wide, should be 24. And ticket holders over 70 should be in 1 or 10 sections. Oh, well, you can't do that.
You can't
separate that.
Yeah,
that's not right.
A part of me is like, yeah, cool. Then they can sit down all they want. But some of them want to stand. Some of them want to be loud. Like, you can't just separate them because of their ages.
No, definitely not. Unfortunately,
I think there should be like a sitting section. Like, if you want to sit, like, you get tickets in this section. And again, you don't want to separate people, but if you want to sit and you don't want to stand up, and you're, closer to the student section, and maybe the student section leaks out a bit and you've got students in front of you, you're going to have to stand because they're not sitting.
Well, and Gus adds the needing the beer sales as well. And there's also a part, and other stadiums have kind of taken this on as well. I believe Utah did. There's designated areas for that stuff where people that are consuming alcoholic beverages at the stadium that they bought from the stadium are in a section. So if they want to do something like that where they create a concourse, however, that's another thing is not even solely when you're watching the game, but just maneuvering through the stadium.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's bad, especially on some sides. So
fix the bathrooms, fix the concession stands. We'll worry about the seats afterwards.
Yeah, and maybe little things like scoreboards, just improving the fan experience. And I understand The reason I kind of brought this up is Trev Alberts kind of mentioned it last night. Season ticket holders, you're going to get a survey in the mail kind of saying how can they improve fan experience, which I think is a very important part in keeping fans happy, obviously, because and Trev Alberts, we've talked about it before, seems to be extremely accessible to the fans at sporting events, especially basketball games, women's basketball games. I see him every single time down there, talking to people on the sidelines, literally talking to anybody that comes up and says hello. So it's little things like that can enhance fan experience. And so it's important for them to do that. So let's dive into that a little bit at the top of the hour. I also want to get into some Husker hoops talk as well, because comparing Nebraska Husker women's basketball and seeing how that relates to Husker men's basketball in terms of success, because Husker women's, they're 12-0. They're 12-0.
12-0, baby.
And I understand the schedule hasn't been all that difficult, but they've done their job, and they've done it in high fashion. And so, or convincing fashion, excuse me. And so I want to talk about that a little bit as we head into the 3:00 hour here on the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Singert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. One host has a red beard and thinning hair. The other also has a red beard and thinning hair. One host got married over the summer. So did the other one. One is a diehard fan of a sub-500 AL Central baseball team. So is the other. Can these two radio hosts do a show together without getting confused as to their own identity? The same couple. Happer and Schaefer. Weekday mornings from 8 to 11 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Pool, Christmas is here. Give a little cheer. Luxury hot tubs in stock. Don't forget our cash and carry hot tubs also in stock from $29.99. The Stealth semi in-ground pool from $79.99. Also in-ground pools from $29.99. Don't wait until next year for above ground pools. Christmas is here. Give a little cheer.
Supreme Spa and
Pool.com.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Sponsored by SAMHSA and Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
I'm Steve Carper, and I'm here to tell you that there's never been a better time to buy flooring. Whether you need carpet, wood flooring, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you got to come to O Street Carpet. With our 12-month interest-free financing, you can do one room or your whole house and leave your holiday budget intact. And with our huge in-stock selection, you can buy today and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
This year, show her she's the one with 1 carat diamond jewelry from Riddle's Jewelry, your trusted family-owned jeweler for over 60 years. Choose from Riddle's remarkable collection of 1 carat total weight diamonds in rings, pendants, bracelets, or earrings at prices you'll love, with savings up to 50%. Show the one you love how much they mean to you with the perfect 1 carat diamond gift from Riddle's Jewelry.
Located in Gateway Mall.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figuerella, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy and healthy Christmas and New Year's celebration. We are thankful for time with family and friends this holiday season and wish everyone a great end to 2021 as we head into 2022. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialist here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services on the air because they care.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hour number 2 of the Happy Hour. Happy Hours. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick and Rico still with you. Good stuff. In that first hour, appreciate Aaron taking the time as always. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit.
People have feelings.
More. Yeah, we got quite a bit of a text dump here. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, Steve says a decibel meter would definitely improve the fan experience. I never know if those are true.
They're fake.
They're fake.
They're all fake.
Decibel meters are real.
They're all fake. I don't believe a single one of them.
They're not fake.
Thank you.
They're 100%.
There is a thing that keeps track of the decibel level.
Do we want to know the decibel meter at Nebraska?
Now, actually, I should say this. They can be fake. I don't know. Now, it is also possible that they are real because there is a device that keeps track of decibel.
I know that the device to keep track of it is real, but I don't believe that the actual level is real because I've seen that. I've been there where they're like, make some noise, and then it just like starts going up, and I'm just like, it's not getting any louder in here.
Well, I feel like the one in Arrowhead is real. At Arrowhead,
well, they take pride in that.
Exactly.
That
so
one and
like
the one in
real.
Seattle.
But it's like they put the graphic up there of the meter, and it like fluctuates the same every time.
I guess this is fake.
So I don't know. Tiny Pig says bulldoze it and build a new stadium. Helps fan experience and recruiting. Why polish a turd?
Tiny Pig, are you calling Memorial Stadium a turd?
It kind of it's
kind of what?
It's old.
Oh, it's old.
It is old.
I understand the whole tradition thing.
Just because it's old doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah.
Shout out to our elderly.
The horseshoe's pretty old.
Nick hates the elderly.
I do not.
The big house is pretty old. Wrigley Field is pretty old.
Nick hates the elderly.
My computer just died.
Fenway's pretty old.
Yeah, I don't know. I think.
How about you live life without a computer?
I need the text line. That's what.
Don't worry, I have it. I can read it.
Okay, that's
what.
fine.
Do you have a charger or no?
I do have my charger. It's in my backpack in this other room.
You can't leave.
Go grab it. I can read text. I just can't understand why Nick thinks that Memorial Stadium is a turd.
It's pretty questionable. Pretty questionable take by young Nick, who obviously
you don't have to bulldoze the entire stadium. Yeah, it's gonna, some things are going to change, and the look of it might not be the exact same, but you're gonna have to change some things.
I mean, in all seriousness, they're gonna have to redo
a lot
the South Stadium entirely.
Yeah. You can leave the bones.
But that's, I mean, it's been done before. They did a very similar thing with the North Stadium when they redid that whole thing. And there's going to be changes to that when the new facility gets built because they're going to attach it to it. And, they basically tore down the whole east side and made that into a 6-story building.
Yeah.
They'll have to rethink the South. I think that's pretty much it, though. Maybe there's amenities over there.
Do you think a concourse would be logical?
A concourse
to get around the whole stadium?
I don't think it's possible.
No.
The stadiums aren't connected.
I know that.
You would have to connect it, and that would be a lot of work.
I just feel like that'd be something that would be simple.
If you're going to add a concourse, you might as well bulldoze the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm not an engineer. Maybe it's possible, but I don't think it's feasible.
Realistic
is what
right
I'm
now.
saying. I mean, but look at what they have. There's a North Stadium concourse, and it's nice. It's roomy. It's you can walk around in there. You could stay in there if it's too cold. You know, like they'll do a newer and better thing for that in South Stadium, but unfortunately, I guess I don't see the reason for it because I like the idea of walking around the 360 concourses at these new baseball stadiums, but I just don't know if there's much time for that during a football game. Like you're not trying to get a different view of it. You're all looking at the field.
I'm not sure it's necessarily for like to walk around during the game. I think it's just easy to alleviate fan traffic all in one giant area.
Well, there's got to be better ways to get out, but you could do that.
So I feel like that's part of it is
you just got to get better walkway areas.
Yeah, maybe
they'll
that,
do
maybe
that
that's
when they redo the South Stadium.
Yeah, maybe that's a better way to put it. But
open up the bathrooms, get rid of the troughs.
Yeah, bathrooms, concessions.
Are you a trough guy? You a fan of troughs?
I don't really care.
He doesn't care.
Didn't care about troughs.
Sounds like you like troughs.
I didn't say that. It's
Sound
not
like a trough guy. I don't like
troughs.
troughs.
Are not ideal.
Not a trough guy.
But we can make troughs work.
I mean, they work. Yeah, they work.
Exactly. So
I don't like them.
No, you don't like them. And bathrooms are super dark anyway. You got to find ways to get some light in there. 402-464-5685 Honda Lincoln Hotline, Sutter Heyman text line. Feel free to.
Haber's just discovering that we have a new phone.
Discovered that we got a new phone 2 days ago.
It has caller ID. Now we know who you are before we answer. Sometimes.
What's
that phone?
Yeah, it's new.
Yeah,
I
do
know.
you like it?
It has caller ID.
It does. When you pick it up, you actually can hear it.
Is that for Dominique? People need to know about this.
Nobody knows about Dominique.
Dominique doesn't listen. I don't think.
What if Dominique's listening right now?
He
He's
does.
like,
well, Dominique needs to hear this.
Dominique's about to call and be like, yo, you talking about me?
Tell everybody about Dominique.
Sometimes there's a guy named Dominique, and he calls, and by sometimes I mean once an hour, and we have to say, Dominique, we're busy. We have to run a radio station because he just wants to talk.
And then he tells us he's going to call us later.
Yeah. Yep.
I love Dominique. Nobody else loves Dominique.
Rico always talks to Dominique.
I discovered so much about Dominique.
Tell us about Dominique.
There was a point when he had to go to the doctor. His like aunt was in the hospital for something. He hasn't gone Christmas shopping yet. He's getting that done.
Oh, me and Dominique.
He's getting that done this week. His birthday is in March.
What's his social security number?
He's a good guy.
Has he ever bought a smart coffee table off of TikTok?
He has not. He has not.
We do have a phone call though. It's Ben. He told me that he would like to talk.
Awesome.
Hey Ben.
What's up, Ben?
Hey, I'm not going to sit here and just listen to you guys slander the trough urinal. It is the most efficient way of disposing of liquid waste from the human body. And so I think you really need to check yourself before you insult our previous engineers that came up with that idea.
Ben, troughs are garbage, and they are meant for cows to eat out of, not for people to pee into.
The only reason you don't like the trough is because you don't like having to stand next to another man with your willy out and having to compare.
Well, I don't compare because I'm not looking.
Well, you don't want to know where you stand in the world?
No, I don't. I'm pretty comfortable with where I stand, actually.
Sounds like you're coming from a place of fear.
No fear in my heart.
That's unbelievable.
Well, I'm glad we got to the bottom of this. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it.
There's no fear in my heart, Ben. Again.
Yeah. Okay. Is it awkward? Speaking of troughs, Is it more awkward when troughs and you go in and they're full and you just like have to fill in a spot, or if you were all by yourself at a trough?
No, that's not awkward.
No, if you're by yourself, it's fine. It's the awkwardness is if there is like a space and you're like, I could stand there, but like you go to stand there and you like bump shoulders with the other people and you're just like,
This is a lot smaller of a space than I thought.
This is not supposed to be happening.
Although if they do allow, or if they do sell alcohol at this new and improved stadium, the troughs could be pretty vital to that. Because I mean,
yeah, it'll happen.
Things get reckless.
It'll happen. Also, the troughs could be dangerous for that.
I don't know. I think the troughs are better suited for.
Do they? I haven't been into a Memorial Stadium bathroom in a long time. Do they?
So you don't even know about the troughs?
No, I do, but I just not in recent memory. We're getting another phone call. Dominique.
Hopefully it's Dominique.
Dominique. If it's Dominique, we get him on the air. We've never brought him to the air.
No, we don't. We do not get him on the air. He says some things.
I know he does. I've answered those phone calls as
Brian
well.
says Rico's more worried that he isn't tall enough for the troughs.
This is Outdoors Kevin.
Outdoors Kevin, what's on your mind, man?
Hey, I think Rico sounds like he's not okay with his manliness. I'm with the other guy. Maybe, I mean, if you're okay with your manlyhood, you don't care if you're brushing shoulders. You're trying to get in there and do your thing. I mean, I'm sorry, Rico. I know you're a track stud, but maybe that's.
Everybody's out here trying to talk about my manliness. What is going on?
Rico,
here?
well,
Just because I don't want to touch shoulders and have people looking at me when I'm trying to take a pee.
Okay.
It's the same thing at like PBA. You don't want to go into a urinal that's surrounded by.
No, that's the rule. Is if there's a urinal, if there's 3 urinals and one person is at one end, you don't go to the middle one.
No.
You go to the farther one. It's just a rule.
Yeah, you never fill the void.
It's an unwritten rule.
Have you ever gone to the middle one?
I've had to. Have you, Pap?
Well, you gotta announce your presence.
Sorry, I'm just gonna squeeze in here.
You squeeze in here.
let me just take up space here.
I don't like brushing shoulders while I'm peeing. It's weird.
All right, so I think we're in on troughs. We're back.
We're not in on troughs. We're out on troughs.
Outdoors.
Apparently, everybody else is in on troughs.
Outdoors. Kevin and Ben are on the same page. They're in on troughs.
Apparently, everybody else just likes to show off.
So we need troughs at the next stadium that you're creating in your mind that has a dome.
I want
and a 360 concourse.
I want a retractable dome.
A dome and troughs. So you don't want to show your field, but you're good with sharing a trough.
How cool does AT&T Stadium look?
It's Texas.
Pretty awesome.
What about playing surface?
Turf.
Not grass.
Not grass.
Why?
Grass makes it looks bad.
Grass looks
it does not.
Once it gets torn up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my
point. That's the point. Grass is beautiful.
Oh, no, I agree. Right at the start, it's beautiful. Northwestern's field, it looks great right at the start. But then by the third quarter, it's horrible.
What about Oklahoma's?
Oklahoma's was cool.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Unfortunately, we do not live in the same climate as Oklahoma.
No,
yeah, I like Oklahoma's a lot.
Purdue's takes people's ACLs and patellar tendons.
Exactly.
So we can't. Yeah, that's tricky.
We'll avoid that at all costs.
All right. So Nick's stadium checklist: 360 concourse, troughs, turf, and a retractable dome. This will cost a lot of money.
The whole dome doesn't have to be retractable, just the roof.
Oh, you want a permanent roof?
No, just the roof needs to be retractable.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, retractable dome.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is going to be extremely expensive.
It doesn't have to be done by next season.
Do you close the roof on the super duper hot days?
No.
Mm.
Why do you have the roof?
You close the roof on extremely cold days because I hate cold weather.
Yeah, but that's football weather.
Not down south.
Don't you love?
We don't live down south, Nicholas.
I hate snow.
Then move down south.
As much as we hate it at the time, there is something to the first game being Labor Day weekend or the weekend before, and you getting back home at midnight, and your skin, you can't even touch your skin. It's so burned.
Yeah.
You can't take a shower. You can't do anything. You're just toast.
Exactly. When Josh Allen and the Wyoming Cowboys came to town a couple years ago, back in 2017 or whatever, and it was like 117 degrees was the field temperature. It was
tradition
brutal.
unlike any other.
It was brutal that at the time, but you got home and you're like,
Look,
if you had a dome,
but dude, where else but Nebraska can you get 117 at the beginning of the season and -10 at the end of the season? And it's all in one season.
If you have a dome, you just cut that in half. It's 72 all the time.
Disgusting. I hate it.
Sounds
be
great.
a little bit more like PJ Fleck, Nick. We love our weather.
Yeah. The weather should
don't
help
know.
you win games.
Yeah.
I said should.
Nick's he likes the dome. He can't get
What are
away
you,
from it.
A Cowboy
It
fan?
doesn't even need to be. It doesn't even need to be a dome. Just find a way to have it comfortable every single game.
You ever noticed?
You know,
I think it has to be.
Have you ever noticed? Except for Minnesota, a lot of the domed stadiums are down south. The northern schools are
North
just
Dakota
like
State?
the northern schools. Well, that's just death cold.
UNI?
That's different.
UNI.
Nobody cares about UNI.
That it's more
Ooh.
economically
Taroka
responsible
Mesh
for them to
does.
play in their tiny little dome, just like South Dakota and North Dakota State.
I'm just saying, like
North Dakota
I hate
is
the cold
death
weather.
cold. That's like -40. Like they have tunnels at their university so that students can get to classes.
Sounds like a great idea. They should.
But
make
we're
them
not talking about building the Kibbe Dome here. This is a 90,000 seat stadium.
That's a massive
or
dome.
a 70,000 seat stadium, more likely.
Yeah.
But that's a big place. That's not what the Kibbe Dome has. That's not what the the Uni Dome has. That's not what the Dakota Dome has.
You're right.
What you think? Do you think Ohio State's going to play in a dome?
No. Oh, because Ohio State has success every year. At what
The
they're
only
doing.
dome Ohio State plays in is when they get to championship games. That's what Nebraska should.
That's
where
called the
envision.
Superdome.
Nebraska needs to build that mentality.
That's what Nebraska should. No. You play in the cold weather to then look forward to playing in a dome.
I do. If they make changes, I hope they do the thing that some of these newer stadiums are doing, where like concessions are back to being like $2.
That would be nice.
They should try that.
In all seriousness, though, the concessions.
A Runza costs way more than it used to.
Hot dogs.
A Valentino's
Unbelievable.
pizza.
I want to be able to buy a pizza for a nickel.
Honestly, that's what somebody said. Hold on, let me find the.
Like it was 1950.
I want to get a nice.
I was at the first sellout.
I would have got an ice cold pop for a penny. I want. Happers talked about this before. I want to be able to flip a quarter at somebody and just take what I need.
I love that. I
want to just be like, yeah, I'd like a hot dog. They give me the hot dog. I flip a quarter. I walk away.
You know, one of the few places you could do that now. It's not flipping the quarter, but it's just having the quarter. The mall at the little gumball stands. Even though those are, you have to put 50 cents nowadays, but there is something to paying less than $1 for something that's just awesome.
The feeling of slamming coins down and sliding them at somebody and then taking what you taking.
Or how about this? How about this? This is a phrase that we don't use very much anymore. Keep the change.
Oh,
we love keep the change.
On that note, do you guys
debit cards have
take
ruined
receipts?
America?
Do you guys take receipts?
No.
I hate receipts. Life could be great if people didn't ask, do you need a receipt?
You just have to say no.
You could just say no, because now a lot of places have the option of printing it or not printing it, so they're not wasting paper.
But you say yes because you're weirdly paranoid about somebody stealing your information?
No, I just check out my mobile banking app.
So you don't take the receipt?
Nope.
You just hate the question.
Question's a waste of
He
time.
doesn't like talking to people.
Maybe that should be a feature on your credit card where like you get an option.
Never ask
and
me
they
if I want a
no, but
receipt.
like the credit card asks you if the person should ask you if you want a receipt. Just as
I'll
as
happily-
little human interaction as possible.
No. I'll have human interaction. I'll have a conversation, but then it's weird because then as the employee has to slip in, would you like a receipt? And we were having a good conversation, man.
I like the move of the employee when he's up there and he's like, he pulls the receipt off the thing. He's like, do you want the receipt? And he's already like crumbling it in his hands, just waiting for me to say no. I'm like, nah, man, we're on the same page. Crumble, throw away.
I did that a few times where I had it and I like started crumbling it and I was like, do you want your receipt? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, here you go. Like uncrumble it.
That's a tough move.
What's really awkward is that like Hy-Vee, maybe I think it like the receipt wraps over the counter
and they don't grab it.
You don't know if you're supposed to grab it or if they're supposed to grab it.
Yeah.
They're just like, there have been times where I like reach for it because there have been
Yeah.
times where they're just like, yeah, you grab it. So I reach for it and the person reached for it and we touched hands and I was like, this is awful.
No receipts anymore. No
I was
more
like,
receipts. No more receipts.
Keep my food. I'm leaving.
That's why they went to paperless. I'll just email it to you. How long until email's gone?
What?
Is there going to be a day when email is non-existent?
No.
It doesn't feel like that's coming soon.
All right.
What else would you have?
Just
How
thinking.
long until email's gone?
I'm just trying to think.
How are they going to notify you of things?
Nick wants to get rid of
Text
weather.
him?
He wants to keep troughs.
No, I don't want to.
He wants to get rid of receipts and he wants to get rid of emails.
I don't want to get rid of.
Where's all the
weather.
spam going to go?
Bam! It's gone. Solves
But
our
then what will
problem.
the spam do?
Yeah. It'll be texted to
Be
you.
non-existent.
Maybe they'll mail it to you. Why didn't you ask about mail instead of email first?
Yeah, mail is
mail gone?
Well, I know there's some mailmen who listen, but you know,
Shout
I
out
would say
Mailman
this
Dan.
the weight of the mailman's bags have probably gone down.
A little lighter.
Yeah.
Shucks.
I like mail.
I like mail. I like getting mailed out too. Yeah. Mostly bills.
I was gonna say I'm getting to that point where I'm starting to get bills.
Ellie likes going to the
like
mailbox with us, so it's fun.
Is that your family
It's a little bonding
interaction?
time? Yeah,
Nice.
It's a good trip.
a little bonding time.
Is your mailbox at your
It
your
is not.
dwelling?
It is not.
Mine
Oh,
isn't
it's a
either.
little
It's-
bit down the way.
Mine's across the street and like 2 houses over. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
group mailbox.
Do you do it daily?
Not personally. Like somebody and me or my wife check the mail every day, but
He's just somebody in my house. So it's gonna be like
there's only 2 options. It's only 2 options.
All right. This is good. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Dismounts, man.
Nick.
Still working. We'll be back on the happy hour.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I'm Steve Carper, and I'm here to tell you that there's never been a better time to buy flooring. Whether you need carpet, wood flooring, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you got to come to O Street Carpet. With our 12-month interest-free financing, you can do one room or your whole house and leave your holiday budget intact. And with our huge in-stock selection, you can buy today and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Every Saturday morning now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
But why is Nebraska not a hungry program? Why does Michigan come in with hunger? Where's the hunger? Where's the, Nebraska doesn't play like a hungry team. Even on its best nights, it doesn't look like a very hungry team, right?
No.
They're not killers.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, this is Sean Callahan with Koppel Chevrolet GMC. New vehicle production has been increasing, but the lots will not be filling up anytime soon. In fact, most vehicles are being pre-sold and are leaving the same week as they arrive. If you want your new Chevrolet or GMC, this is a great time to build a vehicle and place an order. Our sales team will work right with you to build the exact vehicle you want. At Koppel, we appreciate your business and sell vehicles at a fair price. So come check us out or visit us online at koppelcars.com.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Expect sunny skies and mild temperatures as we'll top out at around 52. Winds out of the southwest at around 10. Overnight, mainly clear, a low dropping down to around 30. We will continue our climb in temps as we head into our Thursday with an afternoon high approaching 55. And by Christmas Eve, highs could be into the 60s. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Breakfast tacos, brisket tacos, pork tacos, chicken tacos. You hungry yet? I can keep going. Pork or chicken, queso nachos, queso mac and cheese, hatch mac burritos. Now you're salivating. Muchachos is Lincoln's premier New Mexico barbecue fusion restaurant. You can't miss them in their bright blue building. Pair that great food with delicious coffee for breakfast and a variety of local and national beers on tap the rest of the day. Order your food online at yomuchacho.com or visit them in person at Muchachos on South 11th Street between L and K Streets.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska Athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo Promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities that we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say hello. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In basketball over the weekend, Creighton Prep rolled Lincoln Southwest in a win 62-32, giving them their first loss of the season. Lincoln Christian won over Archbishop Bergen 47-41. Ethan Barrier was the Crusaders' leading scorer with 18. Lincoln Lutheran won over Aquinas 58-47. The Lincoln Lutheran girls also won in a huge spread 61-8. Lincoln Northeast got a big win over Omaha Bryan 65-59. They wouldn't gain the lead till late in the fourth quarter, outscoring Omaha Bryan 22-10. The Lincoln Northeast girls also won with an absurd 80-point margin over Omaha Bryan 85-5. Lincoln Pius X had a 20-point win over Gretna, 53-33. Millard North won over Lincoln East, 73-66. Millard West just got by Lincoln High in an overtime win, 62-54. Colin Nick led the Lynx in points with 16. Lincoln North Star fell short against Omaha South, 61-57. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Now back to the happy hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Good news, everybody. We have heard from Mailman Dan.
Shout out Mailman Dan.
His bag is full and ready to deliver.
Mail is not dead.
So it's good to see, good to hear. Adon says, shout out Industry Baby. That's another one of our bits.
Always and forever.
Did Happer know about our tip jar?
No.
Okay, that's good. Let's keep it that way.
You want to go yell at him?
Whatever you want to do.
I'm gonna yell at him really fast.
Happer's had a big part in our show today. He's been a mainstay in today's show. All I hear is Rico. Rico opens the door and yells, "Happer, we stole the text bag. We called it the tip jar." But no. So okay, let's talk about basketball a little bit. Enough trough talk, enough male talk, enough Bigfoot talk. Somebody texted in earlier and was like, "I want to hear more about Bigfoot sightings." Nah,
we love Bigfoot on this show.
We can do it tomorrow.
This is a pro Bigfoot show. I don't care what anybody says.
We can continue.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Hey, what are you talking about?
We stole the text bag.
What do you mean?
We did. We had a text bag. We called it the tip jar yesterday.
People liked the tip
People
jar.
loved it. I think we're gonna do it.
I'm shocked at this. I'm shocked at this.
We had a conversation on air, and I decided that 99% of the text bag was my idea, so I have the right to steal it.
He's majority owner.
We'll have to
I
go
was
back
there.
And investigate
I
that.
was there when it was created. I made the song for it. I participate
You did
every
make the
time.
song for it.
I participate every time.
Not
so at
because
least
we asked you.
So at least 95%.
I don't know if your math is right there.
I still do.
Well, I would like to say that, it's a very innovative and very you don't see it a lot. A lot of people do the mailbag.
Listen, Aber, we had to do 4 hours of radio yesterday.
Oh.
So we needed something.
Well, maybe you should try harder.
Here we go.
We had all kinds of topics. We were good.
Oh yeah,
we went off on a tangent.
4-hour radio shows are like normal.
No,
yes, I know. It was just,
but not for us.
It was just a joke.
Happer.
It was just a joke, Hap.
I've done 4
Tip
hours
jar.
before.
So people leave you tips?
Tips, thoughts, texts, anything they want.
Whatever happens.
Well, you could do an advice segment and call it the tip jar.
We could.
That would, but
no.
I don't know
I'm just giving you free ideas that aren't already a thing.
I don't know if Rico is big on taking other people's advice.
I don't like people's advice.
Oh, but he is big on taking other people's bits.
Probably.
My bit. Again, as I
I'm
said
just
yesterday.
kidding. I don't care. You guys.
As I said yesterday, all the good ideas at this radio station, my idea.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
All right. Good
Thanks.
luck, guys.
And that's a bit that I came up with.
See you, Hap. All right. So I was thinking about this earlier today when I was sitting at the women's basketball game. Let me read this off for you. Husker men's basketball have played 32 games over the last season and this season now. Husker women's have the same amount of wins in 12 games. Women's 12 wins in 12 games. Husker men's basketball 12 wins in 32 games. Now, we can dive into this whole thing about talking about the schedule's not as hard and everything, but let me remind you, last year Husker men's basketball lost to a Nevada team. They in the Golden Window Classic.
Oh, I remember the Golden Window.
Yes,
that was fun.
The Golden Window Classic. They lost to Georgia Tech on the road or at home in the Big Ten ACC Challenge, and they probably lost a couple Big Ten games that you felt like they could have competed in a little bit better. Husker this year, I mean, I don't need to tell you guys this, but just to refresh the memory, lost to Western Illinois. You feel like they really could have taken that NC State game. Unfortunately,
they were right there.
That whole foul thing at the end of the regulation. Don't need to hash that up again, but
that one's painful.
Yeah, you feel like they had an opportunity there. They played decently well. And that's kind of when this whole thing really spiraled out of control. It feels like. I mean,
it felt like they had a good chance in Indiana for a while.
Yeah,
for a little bit of that game.
Indiana, remember, they played pretty strong defense that day because they were in a big shooting slump. That's really when the shooting slump kind of took off. Was around halfway through that game, and second half, you look up and Nebraska is not shooting well, but their defense kind of kept them in it. And you look up and they're down by 6 points with still 3 minutes left, or not 3 minutes left, but with a certain amount of time left. And you're thinking, how is Nebraska still only 6 points down with how they've played today? It's played sloppy.
And it's only 6 points. You think you have a chance of coming back and making it even closer of a game or even taking a lead. And they could not hit a shot.
Well, and let's be real. I mean, like, even Sundays, and I've said this before, I think I said it Monday, I felt like Nebraska should have beaten Kansas State.
They were up 25 to 10?
25 to 15. And Kansas State just didn't impress me. Now, with that being said, Nebraska sure didn't look
impress
great
either.
But Kansas State, they didn't shoot well by any means. They turned over the basketball quite a bit. They turned it over 2 more times than Nebraska did. Nebraska allowed double the amount of points off turnovers than what they had, despite forcing 2 extra turnovers. Nebraska, once again, on the perimeter defense, excuse me, they did all right. Kansas State shot 5 of 20 something from 3. You think, okay, if Nebraska can just go 8 of 25, you feel like you have a
really
chance.
Good chance.
Nebraska didn't even do that. They were worse. And we've dissected it quite a bit, but it's just wild to think about when we talk about expectations and everything. And I know I kind of bring everything back to that and how we feel about this team beginning of the season. But right now, there's a lot more excitement onto what can happen with the women's program than there is at the men's. And yes, part of that's because they're undefeated, and that's kind of a surface level statement, I suppose. But
even then, they're showing promise, and the way that they work together.
Yeah,
I mean, that could also be a product of the wins and everything, of the excitement level that you're having, and the fact that we're thinking they're showing promise. But they work hard on defense, they work hard on the boards. The ball never really stops moving. It doesn't sit in one person's hands for too long. It's not the same person taking 20 shots every single game, and I'm not blaming Alonzo Verge for any of this.
He has to.
But with the women's team, you have so many people who can go off and who have gone off, and their shooting is amazing. And it's not like they're getting wide open shots every time. They're also making contested shots.
They're shooting the ball well because they are doing little things like ball movement, like moving. That's why their shooting is working well. Or they're finding good shooting numbers. But here's an example. This morning or this afternoon at noon, one of the early possessions in the game, Nebraska, I believe they turned over the basketball. The women's team did. They turned over the basketball. I think it was Sam Hybe, to be specific. But she turns over the basketball, comes down the floor. Isabel Bourne picks up a shooter in the corner for Wyoming. And Sam Hybe comes and helps because she was busting her butt down the floor. They double team her in the corner right in front of the Nebraska bench, and they force a turnover because they forced her to travel. Like little things like that. We talked about it yesterday with the men's team, and any basketball team that's struggling. It's allowing bad shots to affect your play on the defensive side of the ball, or allowing bad defensive play. I mean, you can do it vice versa, right? But little things like that where Sam Hybe knew she messed up. She knew she turned it over, but she didn't let that affect her play on the defensive side of the ball.
You can't let one mistake compound and add into other mistakes that you're making. Like if you turn the ball over, you don't hustle down the court, they get an easy bucket. You're down 2 points. That's a 4-point swing. You could have scored. You didn't. They scored. It's little things like that where you can't let one thing turn into something worse. And right now it seems as if the men's basketball team is letting missed shots turn into easy buckets for the other team. Turnovers, non-foul calls turn into fast break buckets for the opposing teams.
402-464-5685. Sandman says the girls basketball team has hustle. I don't see that from the men's team. Also, I would like to say this.
They have moments of hustle.
They have moments of hustle yet, but also you have to remember depth, I suppose. Just thinking about it, depth probably plays a factor in all this as well. Nebraska the men's, unfortunately, just doesn't have the depth that we were expecting at the beginning of the season. Productive depth, I should say.
They have bodies, but they don't have bodies that can contribute in the same way that some of the other guys can.
It was a couple minutes into the game this morning, and Amy Williams, who you should not be questioning her right now because her team's up on a 12-0 start to their season. But they brought in Allison Weiner, who's played some quality minutes this season. They brought in Michael Caton, Ruby Porter, Kendall Moriarty, and Annika Stewart, and Kendall Coley. I mean, they are, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're on the strong side. They're probably 9 players deep. This women's basketball team is, because and here I'll tell you, they're obviously their starting 5: Ashley Scoggins, Shelley Hybe, Bella Cravens, Isabel Bourne. But then you come off the bench. Alexis Markowski is a freshman who didn't have a great day today, still had 6 rebounds, didn't shoot all that well, was 1 of 8 from the field, 0 for 1 from deep, finished with 3 points. But she was a player that came off the bench the last 2 times out before Wyoming this morning and had a double-double. She's a 2-time freshman of the week in the Big Ten Conference.
She's a true freshman with multiple double-doubles.
Yeah. You have Annika Stewart, who came off the bench today, shot 8 of 13 from the field, 2 or 3 of 7 from deep, finished with a career high 21 points today off the bench. Michael Caton hit a buzzer beater 3. Ruby Porter still had some quality minutes. Kendall Coley can hit the mid-range at a decent rate as well.
She's really good at that free throw line. That free throw line jumper
from the elbow.
It's almost automatic.
And these are all players that come off the bench. This isn't even Jazz Shelley, who almost had a triple-double, was 3 assists away from a triple-double, the second one of the season. Ashley Scoggin, who may be the best three-point shooter on the team, was 0 of 2 today, had 2 points in 25 minutes of play. But still, her plus-minus when she was out on the floor was +8.
Playing clutch defense.
Sam Hybe, 9 points. Bella Cravens, 9. Isabel Bourne, 13. We talk about Isabel Bourne being a big presence down low, 5 of 7 from the field, but she could also step out today, 2 of 3 from deep.
Mm-hmm. And I don't want to keep attacking. Like, I don't want it to seem like we're attacking the men's team and making unfair comparisons or anything like that. But another difference is that every woman on that team is capable of playing really good defense. And the thing is, it's not that they're all great defenders. It's that they have trust in all of the people behind them to clean up a possible mistake. So what they're doing is, it's not like they're taking, crazy chances, but they're jumping in front, they're reaching for steals, they're going for blocks, they're doing all of these things, these little things that can lead to big, fast break moments for the team. And with the men, it just seems as if there's not a lot of trust in the people behind them to clean up any of the mistakes.
Well, and you have to think about, part of that is an identity. What Amy Williams' team wants to do. It's get out and run on the offensive side of the ball, transition buckets, shoot the 3 well, which they do. They shot 36% from deep today, 9 of 25, and strong defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. Their average margin, I can't remember off the top of my head after whichever game, but through a good portion of the season, I want to say after 10 games, their average margin of victory was 30. They were winning games by 30. And once again, the schedule, it is what it is. And yes, they're not ranked AP style, but in the net, in the NET, they're doing just fine. They're top 10. And that's what really matters when it comes postseason time. And so this wasn't even this was not a slight to the men saying look how much better Nebraska women's basketball is playing. It was more of a, hey, pay attention to what Nebraska women's basketball is doing, because they have shown that the way they play is sustainable for their season.
They're not, I want to be careful with the way that I say this. They're not doing anything crazy. They're playing really good team basketball, and it's totally possible for the men to do what the women are doing.
Well, and another thing is, they're not, Amy Williams and their whole staff is not asking their players to do too much. They're asking them to do what they're good at. If you look, if you want to look at the men's team, they're asking every single guy that goes out there on a nightly basis to do so much. Alonzo Verge, they're asking him to do basically everything. Be their guy that finds high quality shots or high percentage shots and make them in a conference that eventually it's going to be in conference play where you're dealing with really tall and physical guys down low. Mm-hmm. You're asking Derek Walker to be the one main rebounder down low. You can't be too physical because we can't get you in foul trouble because there's some uncertainty behind you.
But you're undersized.
You're undersized,
and you need to be physical.
But you still need to play your part. You're having a load on Bryce McGowan's, who came in with all these lofty expectations. And I'm not saying they were unwarranted or it was, wrong of people, including myself and probably including Rico too, to say that there should have been high expectations. But you have to adjust to the college game. Like they're asking, and that's just where the difference is. And every single time, it is just really, really encouraging and exciting to see how this Husker women's basketball team is playing. It's a blast. They are fun to watch, and it's really, really cool. Every single time that I head to a Husker women's basketball game, there's more and more people. I was wondering today. I didn't make it known, but I was wondering what the crowd was going to look like. And on top of that, at these women's games, it's really cool. Before we get to our final timeout, it's really, really cool because they invite schools from smaller towns to come out and go to the women's games and bring all their students. I remember I was in 7th or 8th grade when the Pinnacle Bank Arena opened, and it was a Nebraska women's basketball. I know it's crazy.
7th or 8th grade.
Nebraska women's basketball game against UCLA the first day before the men's played Florida Gulf Coast that night or the next night to start. But we went, my whole school, or 6th, 7th, 8th graders were invited to come to UCLA, Nebraska, the first game of PBA. And I was like, dang, this is awesome. We're going to Pinnacle Bank Arena for a basketball game. This is fantastic. So it's really, really cool that they invite and they incorporate smaller towns, because that just draws interest. And there was a really good crowd on hand for Nebraska to go up against a 4-4 Wyoming team at the time. So really, really exciting stuff. Cleveland Mike on the text line. Guys, my 10-year-old basketball playing daughter is in the car and is freaking out about how much you're talking about the Huskers ladies this week. Thanks for that. I've got a happy girl listening. Big time. Big time. That's what it's about. All right. 402-464-5685. Get your final thoughts in before we ship you off to Old School with Jake Sorensen, Jay Foreman, and myself. We'll take one final time out. You're listening to Happy Hour on 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Expect sunny skies and mild temperatures as we'll top out at around 52. Winds out of the southwest at around 10. Overnight, mainly clear, a low dropping down to around 30. We will continue our climb in temps as we head into our Thursday with an afternoon high approaching 55. And by Christmas Eve, highs could be into the 60s. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Breakfast tacos, brisket tacos, pork tacos, chicken tacos. You hungry yet? I can keep going. Pork or chicken, queso nachos, queso mac and cheese, hatch mac burritos. Now you're salivating. Muchachos is Lincoln's premier New Mexico barbecue fusion restaurant. You can't miss them in their bright blue building. Pair that great food with delicious coffee for breakfast and a variety of local and national beers on tap the rest of the day. Order your food online at yomuchacho.com or visit them in person at Muchachos on South 11th Street between L and K Streets.
Hi, this is Sean Callahan with Koppel Chevrolet GMC. New vehicle production has been increasing, but the lots will not be filling up anytime soon. In fact, most vehicles are being pre-sold and are leaving the same week as they arrive. If you want your new Chevrolet or GMC, this is a great time to build a vehicle and place an order. Our sales team will work right with you to build the exact vehicle you want. At Koppel, we appreciate your business and sell vehicles at a fair price. So come check us out or visit us online at koppelcars.com.
At Supreme Spa and Pool, Christmas is here. Give a little cheer. Luxury hot tubs in stock. Don't forget our cash and carry hot tubs also in stock from $29.99. The Stealth Semi In-Ground Pool from $79.99. Also in-ground pools from $29.99. Don't wait until next year for above ground pools. Christmas is here. Give a little cheer. Supreme Spa and Pool.com.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy and healthy Christmas and New Year's celebration. We are thankful for time with family and friends this holiday season and wish everyone a great end to 2021 as we head into 2022. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialist here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services on the air because they care.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo Promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities that we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say hello. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska Athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop, but you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In basketball over the weekend, Creighton Prep rolled Lincoln Southwest in a win 62-32, giving them their first loss of the season. Lincoln Christian won over Archbishop Bergen 47-41. Ethan Barrier was the Crusaders' leading scorer with 18. Lincoln Lutheran won over Aquinas 58-47. The Lincoln Lutheran girls also won in a huge spread 61-8. Lincoln Northeast got a big win over Omaha Bryan 65-59. They wouldn't gain a lead till late in the fourth quarter, outscoring Omaha Bryan 22-10. The Lincoln Northeast girls also won with an absurd 80-point margin over Omaha Bryan 85-5. Lincoln Pius X had a 20-point win over Gretna, 53-33. Millard North won over Lincoln East, 73-66. Millard West just got by Lincoln High in an overtime win, 62-54. Colin Nick led the Lynx in points with 16. Lincoln North Star fell short against Omaha South, 61-57. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
But why is Nebraska not a hungry program? Why does Michigan come in with hunger? Where's the hunger? Where's the, Nebraska doesn't play like a hungry team. Even on its best nights, it doesn't look like a very hungry team, right?
No.
They're not killers.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here one final time on the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. All right, so we've done a couple days of 2-hour shows, Rico.
Yes.
I think we've found out that they don't always go as planned.
No.
But that's okay.
Rarely do they.
Yeah, it worked out well though. I thought it was fun time. We had a heavy dose of Happer. We talked about Bigfoot again. I'm sure that'll come up tomorrow.
Very necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, 402-464-5685. As always, Jake Sorensen, Jay Foreman, and myself will get you guys rolling through old school here. But before we do, us at the Ticket, we're looking for families and individuals who can use some help this Christmas season. We have 4 $50 gift cards to Canopy Street Market that we can hand out throughout the course of the day. So if you guys know someone who could use it, or even if you can use it yourself, send us a message. You can DM us on Twitter at 93.7 The Ticket. You can DM me or Rico, Nick_Sainert, or at Radio Rico AC, or you can send it in on the text line, or feel free to call in 402-464-5685. Just trying to help out once again during the Christmas season. So thanks to our good friends at Canopy Street Market for sending us 4 $50 gift cards just to help make a Christmas season and holiday season a little easier for those that need it.
Also here at the Ticket, you guys know, you've heard it for a couple of weeks now. You know, we've partnered with Beatrice Bakery to put smiles on faces and help people who are in need and maybe have been going through a tough time or maybe have been going through a good time and we wanted to improve. But today, me and Nick are going to be giving a gift basket, a care basket, to a good friend of the show, a good friend of the station, James in Colorado, who I'm not going to get into detail of everything that's happened, but I've been in contact with him. He's had a rough year, and I just believe that getting him some cakes from Beatrice Bakery, hopefully in time for the holidays, would improve his mood and maybe make this year end on a happier note for him. So James, we here at the Ticket appreciate everything that you do, and we're really rooting for you, man. And we hope that these cakes find you and put you in a better mood.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys know the drill also, I mean, if you guys have any nominations for the rest of the week or anything like that of folks that should receive a care basket, courtesy of our good friends at Beatrice Bakery, go on to theticketfm.com. There's a little tab at the top, and we can get you guys going that way. You can fill out the request form, or you guys know how to reach us. Text line, call us, or find us on Twitter, and we'll definitely help you guys out as best we can. About 45 seconds here before we get rolling with old school. Rico, it's been an exciting day.
It's been weird. A lot of things have been happening.
Nebraska women's basketball wins
12-0.
Nebraska men's basketball plays Kennesaw State tonight.
Get a win.
And I got a sectional. Wow. Sectional got delivered this morning. The legs have been put on. It is fantastic. It's very exciting times. I'm getting into that mood of I just need a sectional and a TV, and it's very, very
doing
exciting times. All right, we're done for today. Another 2-hour show tomorrow. Jake, Jay, and myself are up next. Talk to you guys in a few.
Adios.
Hi, this is Sean Callahan with Koppel Chevrolet GMC. New vehicle production has been increasing